News with Lauren Stallone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with the latest on the Hantavirus outbreak. 2 of the Canadian passengers aboard an infected ship are now back home, isolating in Midwestern Ontario. With more on the local health unit's response and the current risk to the wider public, here's Scott Miller.
A hantavirus outbreak on board a cruise ship half a world away has found its way to make waves in Midwestern Ontario.
Here in Grey Bruce region, we have 2 individuals who were passengers on that cruise ship and were potentially exposed to hantavirus.
The duo, who disembarked from the infected cruise ship in mid-April, returned to Grey Bruce on April 25th and have been self-isolating ever since. Grey Bruce Health Unit officials are checking in on them daily.
They're well, they're not experiencing any symptoms of illness. And so we are checking in with them while they isolate at home to confirm that they're not developing any signs or symptoms of hantavirus.
3 passengers aboard the MV Hondius have died from hantavirus since the cruise ship left Argentina on April 1st. 8 more have contracted the virus that is usually spread from animals to humans, but can be contracted person to person.
This is many days out from their travel and return to Ontario. So we have good assurance that they had not inadvertently spread any risk to the general public.
Now, health officials are not revealing where this couple are from in Grey or Bruce County, but they say it actually doesn't matter as long as they keep self-isolating. The potential concern or harm to the community is almost zero.
We've confirmed that they're well, they don't have the disease, and we're following up with them closely. The risk to the community is very, very low.
The duo will be monitored for 45 days, the potential incubation period for hantavirus, says Dr. Graham.
We're not expecting any others coming to Ontario. It's just the 2 that we're monitoring on a daily basis to ensure they remain asymptomatic. So they're not cases, they're contacts from the ship.
Here at Public Health, this is something that we do routinely, where we follow up with individuals who've potentially been exposed to infectious diseases and prevent any potential spread within the community. And so it's something that we're very confident and able to do. And so we have this situation well in hand.
In Grey Bruce, Scott Miller, CTV News.
The latest employment numbers show the London area dealing with the highest jobless rate in the country, edging higher again last month. Jerry Dewan has more on the numbers and what they mean.
Statistics Canada says the London region's unemployment rate for April was 9.2%, the highest rate among large cities in Canada. StatsCan says 1,800 jobs were lost last month.
Things are going to get a whole lot worse. There is more downside economic risks than there is upside.
Mahmoud Nanji is a policy fellow at the Ivy School of Business. He says southwestern Ontario is being particularly hard hit because of the continued reliance on manufacturing and the economic uncertainty around the world.
Trade uncertainty is certainly a big part of it. I think the geopolitical uncertainty is a big part of it. The war in Iran and the contribution of price increases is still to be felt.
This region's jobless rate has risen every month this year. It includes London, St. Thomas and Strathroy. The provincial and national unemployment rates were mostly unchanged in April at 7.5% and 6.9% respectively. Locally, StatsCan says a loss of manufacturing and construction jobs had the greatest impact.
There's not a lot that municipalities individually can do, but we are advocating collectively to our federal and provincial partners and other organizations to try to help.
The jobs numbers come as Ontario municipalities prepare for elections in the fall. Kristen Kroos has launched her campaign to run for mayor against Morgan, along with Lawrence Zachary Howe and John Fair. Kroos believes there are steps the city can take to improve jobs prospects.
We need to make our city attractive. We need traffic that moves. We need a city that feels safe. We need good services for the value we're paying, and we need to respect the taxpayer in order for it to be attractive for that outside investment.
But Morgan says the most recent jobs numbers don't tell the whole story.
Over the past number of years, we actually created 45,000 jobs, but we've seen a decline just this year of 13,000 of those. So, we've had a good run, but the economic conditions out there are putting us in a position where we're seeing this pullback.
The London Economic Development Corporation continues to project strong growth numbers with the opportunity to add up to 40,000 jobs by 2031. StatsCan figures indicate there are currently an estimated 318,300 people working in the region. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Officials at City Hall won't say if the death of a man at London's micro shelter community will prompt any policy or procedural changes. Daryl Newcomb has more on the unanswered questions about the circumstances surrounding this death at the 3-month-old facility.
2 days after a resident was found dead at the micro-modular shelter for homeless Londoners, there remain more questions than answers about what happened. London police say the death is not being treated as suspicious, but City Hall isn't saying if policies or procedures at the facility will be updated to prevent a similar tragedy. During a media tour back in January before the site opened, Deputy City Manager of Social and Health Development Kevin Dickens said this about cannabis and drug use policies on the site.
The teams are actually coordinating some really pretty innovative check-in processes in place, utilizing technology for that stuff. But we know that we don't want to be inviting any of that stuff on site, but we understand people may use that as they would anywhere else, and we want to make sure it's done in a very safe and appropriate manner.
The deceased individual was discovered around noon on Wednesday, but City Hall isn't saying how much time passed between the discovery of their death and the last time they were seen alive by staff or social workers. Instead, the city referred questions about the time and cause of death to the coroner's office, who responded they do not provide updates about death investigations, citing privacy legislation. So on Friday, CTV News asked City Hall for an interview about policies and procedures at the site, but received a written statement instead. That statement does not answer some basic questions we had for city staff, like how often are welfare checks conducted at each of the cabins, and what's the procedure if an occupant doesn't immediately respond. Instead, it says operator Xpera is on site 24/7, and its interactions with residents include cabin checks, check-ins, check-outs, shuttle rides, meals, and other service touch points. Staff may also complete additional wellness checks when there are specific concerns. It adds that procedures are based on similar sites in Ontario and were reviewed and tailored for London by Xpera, the city, and community partners. It also commits that civic administration will conduct a debrief with Xpera in the coming weeks. Last month, a progress report explained the facility is temporarily housing 68 people, all of whom were previously living unsheltered. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Sarnia police say a 28-year-old man was killed in a single vehicle crash early this morning. Sarnia police released these images. They say the driver crashed into a pillar under the Murphy Road overpass on Guthrie Drive around 12:30 a.m. Chippewas of the Thames First Nation Police and Middlesex OPP say they're investigating a sudden death. According to police, emergency responders were dispatched to a vehicle fire at Jubilee Road and Mount Elgin on banned territory, where they found a body inside the vehicle. The Middlesex Crime Unit coroner and fire marshal are also involved in the investigation. Witness testimony wrapped up today at the coroner's inquest looking into the police shooting death of a Sarnia man in London 5 years ago. A London police officer fatally shot 29-year-old Justin Barassa back in October 2021. Barassa had placed another officer in a chokehold after the constables mistook him for a break-and-enter suspect, leading to an altercation. Closing submissions and recommendations from the lawyers involved are expected on Monday. After that, jury members will retire to determine their own set of recommendations meant to prevent similar incidents in the future. Police in Teeswater say they are investigating after someone shot out several windows at an elementary school. Hillcrest Elementary was closed today as a result. Police say the windows were shot out with a BB gun. They're asking anyone with security footage to contact them. City councillors in Woodstock are opting out of provincial legislation that would allow festival goers to bring their own alcoholic beverages to some community events. With more on their reasoning, here's Brian Bicknell.
From Woodstock's famous Cowapalooza to the annual Rib Fest, patrons won't be bringing their own booze to wash down those barbecue bites anytime soon.
Definitely, I think there's pros and cons both ways depending on enjoyment, but right now, I think it's a little too early as well.
Woodstock Council has voted in support of a motion to opt out of provincial legislation that would allow adults to bring and consume their own alcoholic beverages at select outdoor events. Approval for such events would have to be granted by the Alcohol and Gaming Commission and only with a confirmation letter from the municipality.
This would eliminate nonprofit organizations such as, for instance, the Lions Club, who do an excellent job at our Palooza in providing beer tent regulated by smart servers. This is probably one of their big fundraisers.
It has the potential to leave us on the hook from a health and safety perspective, insurance perspective.
Council's decision comes as the busy spring-summer festival season begins to ramp up, beginning with Victoria Day celebrations later this month and ending with the Woodstock Fair toward the end of summer. And in between all that is the Woodstock Summer Street Fest every July, run by the BIA. Interim Chair Fidel Zabian says he'd rather people bring money to spend than booze to drink.
So from the perspective of the BIA core in the downtown, I mean, you know, I'd rather see people buy stuff from our members downtown rather than bring stuff in. I mean, that's the perspective from the BIA, but I'm sure there'll be other ones as well. But it is good for such events as this.
Council's vote to opt out of the provincial BYO legislation was unanimous. Brian Bicknell, CTV News, Woodstock.
Deputy Mayor Sean Lewis is seeking a third term as Ward 2 councillor and telling CTV News why he isn't considering a run for the mayor's office.
I just don't feel that this is the right time for me. Obviously, right now I'm recovering from a case of shingles and very light sensitive, so that's definitely not the right time. You know, the time may come, but what I like about being the ward councillor is I get to keep my feet on the ground.
Lewis cites progress this term on housing affordability, rents and infrastructure, but he says more work remains to be done. In addition to being a city councillor, he was recommended by the mayor and appointed by council to serve as deputy mayor since 2022. Also registered as a candidate in Ward 2 is Zach Ramsey. Officials with Western Ivy Business School say they're investigating a cybersecurity incident which is impacting multiple Canadian universities. According to a statement posted to the Ivy website late last night, a computer system known as Canvas was compromised by hackers and students were unable to access it. The program manages online courses, grades, and assignments. The statement indicates the hackers were not targeting Ivy specifically, but names, emails, and messages exchanged within the system may have been affected. It also says the system is only used by Ivy Business School and not by the rest of the Western community. Federal government officials are considering social media bans for young Canadians, among other safeguarding measures. Those issues were front and center in London this morning during a discussion about online harms and mental health. With more, here's Sean Irvin.
It has been 13 years since 15-year-old Amanda Todd died by suicide, just 1 month after posting a video online detailing the cyberbullying and extortion she had been living with for 2 years. On Friday, her mother, Carol, stood before a crowd of Londoners to share Amanda's legacy and life struggles.
And this video was by no means a suicide note. This was a note for her to share her story, the way it was in her life.
Following her death, a Dutch man who preyed on Amanda online was tried in Canada and the Netherlands. Carol had a chance to face him in court, but to this day she contends it was social media posts from those who should have helped Amanda that led to her passing.
And I think that she would have gotten past the predator part, but it was her peers and the cyber abusive behavior and the harassment that did her in.
Her comments led to a presentation and later panel discussion on the effects of social media on youth and mental health. Dr. Bailey Parnell called social media a risky behavior like sex, drugs, and alcohol, adding she would support limiting youth access.
I'm at the point now where I just want to see something and let us try it and get it wrong and fix it.
But even with the loss of her daughter, Carol is not so sure. When asked about a social media ban for those under 16 now in place in Australia, she stated,
I, for one, I'm not completely for a social media ban. If you were to bring in age restrictions, age gating. You have to have other legislation and policies surrounding it, like regulating the tech companies.
Whatever is put into place, Carol believes Amanda's legacy will play a role.
She was dropped here to give us a message. No parent should ever lose their child through means of things that are preventable.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
A local woman is sharing her experience with ovarian cancer, hoping she can raise awareness and ensure better outcomes for other women. Linda Barr is always looking for the beautiful things in life, most recently through watercolor painting.
Art is something that's always been part of my life, but this development of painting has really evolved and grown in this time period.
The pastime has taught Barr to embrace the unpredictable nature of watercolor and its imperfections, much like life itself.
This is my therapy.
But what Barr didn't know was that she'd need to apply that lesson beyond the canvas.
I had a pain in my lower pelvic area, and I was telling our trainer at our exercise in Lucan, I said at first I was blaming you. I had a pulled muscle, and then it didn't turn out to be a pulled muscle. It ended up being something else.
Originally thought to be diverticulitis, Barr awaited instruction from her doctor, but in June of 2023, she received a phone call that would change her life forever.
He said, we got the results back from your CT, and it's not diverticulitis, you have cancer.
Barr was diagnosed with late-stage ovarian cancer.
You know, I never ever said, why me? I don't know why. So why not?
Like Barr, most women with ovarian cancer continue to be diagnosed late, and it has the lowest survival rates of all genealogical cancers.
There's a lot of room in the pelvis that things can grow before it causes any symptoms. And the early symptoms tend to be very vague and nonspecific.
Experts say this year, 3,000 women will learn they have ovarian cancer, and half will die within 5 years.
Some of those patients can be cured, but the cure rates tend to be low.
Now on World Ovarian Cancer Day, Barr is sharing her story in hopes of saving other women.
Ovarian cancer hasn't received enough attention. There's no diagnostic that can pick it up early. There is no screening, like the pap smear or the mammogram.
While progress is being made in the fight against cancer, with the recent survival rates at 63% compared to 25% in the 1940s, more needs to be done to prevent ovarian cancer deaths.
We continue to make progress, but we're not hitting home runs, we're hitting singles.
Now, having just finished treatment, Barr is taking life one day at a time.
It's not if it comes back. It's when. When will it come back?
But like her artwork, Barr believes you can find beauty in anything, even life's most unexpected journeys.
I did a painting in a picture of Canada, a map of Canada, and then this kind of wavering line of ladies holding hands across Canada, because that's what it feels like.
Coming up, history in the making. Toronto's WNBA game hosts their first ever regular season game. Canada's main stock index rose on fresh jobs data from both sides of the border. In Toronto, the TSX gained 221 points, and in New York, the Dow added 12, while the Nasdaq is up 441. The Canadian dollar dropped 1/4 cent today, and on commodity markets, gold is up about $20 an ounce, and oil added 61 cents a barrel. A new Nanos poll is shedding light on the impact inflation is having on young Canadians. Researchers found 2/3 of young respondents to a recent survey said they are canceling major purchases and having a hard time affording necessities. Older respondents were nearly twice as likely to report inflation not being a major problem for them. Overall, 14% of respondents said they had to cancel a major purchase because of inflation, up from 8% last year. Municipal officials in Chatham-Kent say 5 new family physicians are practicing in the area through ongoing efforts to improve primary care access. They say the doctors are based in Chatham, Wallaceburg, Blenheim, and Wheatley, most of whom are accepting new patients. They also say these additions reflect a collaborative recruiting process between healthcare partners.
Good evening. We'll see a bit of cloud cover overnight. The temperature is holding above the freezing mark. We don't have a frost advisory tonight, but we dip into the single digits. Thanks, Murray, for this photo of your pup. If you're heading out for a morning walk, expect a bit of sunshine to kick off your Saturday and warming temperatures. A nice warm afternoon on the way with the risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms. We'll have your weekend forecast coming up right after this.
Julie's here now with a look at your weekend forecast. Julie?
Thanks so much, Lauren. Nice and warm this afternoon. We hit 16 degrees, right where we want to be. Temperature overnight last night 4. So again, basically a repeat out there through the overnight, but it stayed warm this evening. As we take a look at the forecast, we do have an area of low pressure that'll eject out of the southern prairies and drive a cold front in heading into tomorrow afternoon. That could bring some scattered showers with the potential for some thunderstorms. So as we take a look at the next 36 hours, a bit of cloud cover coming in from a system off to the south. There's low pressure moving through the Ohio Valley. Through the overnight, waking up tomorrow morning to a mix of sun and cloud, and then that cold front starts to edge in with scattered showers and thunderstorms. You can see it on the forecast model as it starts to push just over Lake Huron in the morning, and then the showers continuing across the region. Now, not expecting this to be widespread. Not everyone's going to pick up rain through the day on a Saturday, but there will be showers in advance of that front, so you'll notice the cloud cover start to thicken and the risk for some storms as the front slips through the area heading into Saturday evening. As we roll into your Sunday, Mother's Day looks good, a mix of sun and cloud. Now, this forecast has been back and forth all week. Conditions are starting to look much improved, so some sunshine, although it will be cooler with the passage of that front as the winds turn northwest. So it'll be a cold breeze on Sunday afternoon. But if you are planning some outdoor activities, things are looking quite pleasant. Overnight, temperatures dip between 2 and 4 degrees along the lakeshore of Huron 6 and near Port Stanley and Long Point +8. Your forecast through the day Saturday, starting with a mix of sun and cloud, heating up quite nicely in the afternoon. The forecast high 18 degrees. Scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head through the late afternoon evening. Mix of sun and cloud for Mom, 13 degrees. 11 degrees on Monday under a mix, and then sunshine as we head into your Tuesday. Chance for some rain coming in Tuesday night. 14 degrees on Wednesday, so a cool and below seasonal start to the week. But by Thursday into Friday, back into a mix of sun and cloud and into the upper teens. Midwestern Ontario, your forecast for your Saturday. We will see some sunshine, but clouds roll in the afternoon. The front comes through. The temperature will be mild in advance of the cool air that will arrive for your Sunday. Back into a mix of sun and cloud, the high just 12 degrees on Sunday. Mix on Monday, and notice the chance for some patchy frost. Overnight lows at the freezing mark. Tuesday sunshine and then rain Tuesday night. Heating up by Wednesday, back close to where we should be, 18 degrees. So we'll get there. It'll take until Thursday into Friday where we're back into a mix of sun and clouds. So recapping your weekend forecast, Lauren, heading into tomorrow morning, we will have a nice mix of sun and clouds. Scattered showers and thunderstorms develop in the afternoon. Cooler for Mother's Day, but some peaks of sunshine. And also, I didn't mention, there is the potential for some fog to develop through the overnight and stay around early tomorrow morning before dissipating as we head past mid-morning. So enjoy your weekend, however you're spending it, and we'll see you right here on CTV News Monday. Back to you.
Thanks, Julie. The world's largest street hockey festival is taking over downtown London this weekend. Hockey Fest organizers say they expect thousands of players and spectators to come out, raising money for London's Children's Hospital. With more, here's Rita Ismail.
Boards are going up, nets are being rolled in, and one of downtown London's busiest intersections is being turned into a giant street hockey venue. Hockey Fest is in town this weekend. The tournament has grown from a local idea into a North America-wide event, partnering with NHL teams.
We started Hockey Fest in 2018 to 2019. 2019 was our first year where we partnered with the Peterborough Petes and the Chicago Blackhawks. Since then, obviously, we had a couple of hiccup years with COVID, but it was nice that we were an outdoor activity so people could come outside and play in our bubbles.
This year, organizers expect roughly 75 teams and hundreds of players from young children to adults competing throughout the weekend.
We are all day Saturday, all day Sunday. We range from U7, so little kids, all the way up till adults. None of course, it's open to the public for everyone to come watch.
But beyond the competition, the event is also focused on giving back. For the first time, Hockey Fest is partnering locally with Children's Health Foundation, with a portion of teams' registration fees supporting programs, equipment, and services at Children's Hospital.
We have 60,000 kids that use the Children's Hospital on a yearly basis. Imagine being one of those families and one of those kids that need to use the hospital. We want to make sure that the families and kids get the best possible care with the best possible equipment and programs.
Organizers say supporting local charities has become a key part of Hockey Fest's expansion across North America.
We ended up partnering with a couple different NHL teams and Barstool Sports for the Chicklets Cup. So we were able to go out to Las Vegas for a tournament there with them, and then also Detroit. And we also work with a couple different teams, east to west coast in Canada as well, and hospital foundations and charities. So we are right across North America from one end all the way to the other.
Organizers say they hope the weekend not only brings energy to the downtown core, but also helps make a difference for local families who rely on Children's Hospital. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
CTV News London has a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local headlines. By signing up, you'll get local news content from CTV London direct to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewslondon.ca.
History was made tonight as the Toronto Tempo hosted the Washington Mystics in their first ever regular season game.
A 5'9" guard out of Syracuse, number 20,
Toronto is one of two expansion teams joining the WNBA for its 30th season. Toronto came just shy of the win tonight, but will be back on Wednesday to take on the Seattle Storm. Finally tonight, a video from the Oregon Zoo showcasing two of their residents enjoying some recreation time. Zoo staff posted this video on social media showing a pair of orphan bears splashing away in a 300-gallon tub. Their names are Timber and Thorn, and they've called the zoo's Black Bear Ridge habitat home since December 2023. They had been found wandering alone in Alaska, unable to fend for themselves. After months of winter, most North American bears are now starting to shake off their hibernation with renewed spring energy. That's our time tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Lauren Stallone. Happy Mother's Day. Have a good night.